is what it is, and my hair is what it
That's
is.
how it is. Good evening, Melrosians, the world over. I am Tom Shampoo, and this is Let's Talk Melrose. Melrose, a show where Melrosians talk to Melrosians about Melrose.
I'm Sam Hammer.
And I'm Jen LeClaire.
Yep.
That was a quiet Jen LeClaire. How about a enthusiastic Jen LeClaire?
And I'm Jen LeClaire.
There you go. How is everyone?
Good. We just had a fiery discussion right before the show, so
did.
yeah, I'm amped.
Wow. We're ready to go. I was just going to say, we saw each other last night. We'll talk about this in a little bit, but we saw each other, all three of us last night, went to the State of the City address the Mayor Paul Broder gave. We'll have lots to say about that.
Yes.
But before we get to that, how was the weekend for everybody? What was happening in the zip code, out of the zip code?
Oh my gosh. That's like on Mondays, that's the question I dread because it makes me realize how terrible my memory is. People ask me Monday, how was your weekend? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what I did. I don't remember.
Well, how was your snow day? Or Tom, what did you do? You went away.
I went away just for a day. We took a zip out to Amherst. My daughter had her birthday last week. We took her out for lunch, and I love that she's close enough. We can zip out for lunch, take her out, come back home, and we're home in time for an evening event.
Yeah,
that's sweet.
Yeah.
I did not have a snow day today. Everybody else did, but we still had school in Boston. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was a huge bust of a snow day. By the way.
Yeah. Well, not for the kids; they were psyched.
Well, I meant for all the parents out there that like.
No, it was fine.
They whiffed it big time. The meteorologists.
Yes. Oh my gosh, Sammy on his own. For whatever on his own went out to shovel the sidewalk, and he was like, yeah, I was really proud. He's like, but the shovel is harder than just kicking it.
Welcome to the real world, kid.
Just kick it away. Oh my gosh.
So I have a question for you. When shoveling happens around your house, is there money exchanged? Is there like a service fee for the
no,
kids?
you get to still live here.
You get to live, exactly. Good for you. Good for you.
The last storm we had, we were really behind in shoveling, and so everything was really heavy and icy.
Yeah.
But we had a neighborhood kid visiting, and we said, as soon as the sidewalk is shoveled, we're going to go to Dave and Buster's. So
there we go. So there's a reward, but
yes,
that's good.
Not green in color.
All
right.
That's
no.
fair.
Although Dave and Buster's, everything's really green, deep green.
I was going to say, I think I'd actually pay the money to not have to go to Dave and Buster's.
So that's the place in Woburn, right? The big place. I was once, and we had our son's probably like 14th or so birthday there, and we get there. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was like a game place, right? But it's really adult game place. There's bars, alcohol. There's a bunch of 25-year-olds walking around drinking beer, playing games. I didn't know this, and so we get there with like 6 or 8 friends of my son, of Eli, and with all the kids are like, okay, where's all the money and all the coins and whatever, the tokens, and then they're all like muscling in between these 25-year-olds drinking beer. I'm like, this is not the place to bring your 14-year-old son for.
Oh my God, too
birthday.
funny. Was there a line at the claw machine? Like
exactly.
Squishies. Too funny.
That's funny. So,
anyway.
you guys alluded to it a second ago, but we attended the State of the City last night. What do you guys think?
Well, a lot, Sam. Please, I want to hear your thoughts.
Well, are we jumping into this now, or are we saving it for the end so we can? Just
okay, all right, okay. Yes, tell me later what you thought.
Hold that thought, everybody.
Go ahead.
Wait, we're doing
like
Tom Catalini. So we didn't even say Tom Catalini. We missed Tom Catalini tonight. He's under the weather, maybe.
Who?
Yeah, exactly. But he has this thing. he has this on time. Like everything we do is always like bing, bing, bing. He's got the
Yeah,
clock
I'm
going.
sorry, he
He's got
does, but only because the ladies of LTMM organize it ahead of time.
That's true.
So,
That's true.
yeah,
You
so
two
I'm-
do the
I'm
bulk of the
sorry,
work.
and I did not do that today. But Sam, you pulled it together. So go ahead, you kick us off. What's going
I
on?
didn't really. I'm going to do my best.
ahead.
So, okay, this is where the music plays for the
Yep.
news.
Stand-
I'm glad it gives you a laugh.
That was a soft cue. So today is the last day of February. Happy end of February. And tomorrow
good.
is March 1st. At 1 o'clock in front of City Hall, Maeve is holding their White Ribbon Day event, the Melrose Alliance Against Violence. It's their 6th annual White Ribbon Day. All are invited, especially the men, to stand up and participate in ending violence against women.
Yes.
So I'll put
the
the
link
details
in
there.
there
We
for
mentioned that
folks.
last week, but now that it's here.
It's tomorrow.
yeah.
So again, tomorrow, 1 p.m. in front of City Hall.
Great.
Yep.
Tomorrow night, also, speaking of things to do tomorrow, is it tomorrow? Yes, tomorrow night, dinner at Santa Fe. If you're craving some Mexican food, head over to Santa Fe and you can mention the Melrose High School band, and that will allow some money to be sent over to them as part of that charity fundraiser. So please do hit Santa Fe tomorrow night if you're looking for a night out.
Yeah, that sounds good. Tomorrow's Wednesday, right? Yeah.
Wednesday
okay.
night, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. And then also from March, this coming March, it is the second annual members art exhibition at Follow Your Art Community Studios.
Right.
So for the month of March at the Big Yellow House, there's an opening reception on March 3rd from 6 to 8, and they have exhibits from their members, including painting, fashion, ceramics, from all of them. And then also, let's not forget, we had them on as guests. We got a sneak peek at the rehearsal for Considering Matthew Shepard concert.
That's right.
The Polymnia Society of Melrose. That is March 5th at the Melrose Highlands Church. It's in the afternoon.
That's Sunday.
Who's
I'm
going?
I'm going. I haven't
I'm
got
going.
do you need tickets or is it free?
You need tickets. It's not
Okay.
free.
I think it's
for you.
$10. Is it
Yeah.
10?
I think
That's
it's
fine.
more,
Yeah.
but I may have an extra ticket. So
Okay, I do want to go, and I will gladly pay that because I think this is an important presentation, and I think it's going to be fantastic. So
Yeah. I think my wife wants to go.
yeah, we'll collab and carpool and all that. Lots of great stuff happening coming up. Also, things that have been funded by the Melrose Cultural Council, which is the local affiliate of course, the State Cultural Council. Their full list of projects that they've funded is available on the state website, and they are also looking for 3 more new board members. So if you're interested in getting involved in arts and culture and having a say in what kinds of great things get funded, it's a great organization to join. There's actually a number of boards and commissions in Melrose currently accepting new members.
Yes, we have one opening on the Historical Commission.
Yeah.
And so I know there's some open spots in places.
what are you looking for?
Yeah. Pitch it, Tom. Why should I join the historical?
I'm not going to answer that
commission?
question because I'm inclined to make a joke, and I don't want to do that. And,
This is like your official duty, and you're
Yeah,
declining,
exactly.
sir.
we're looking for people interested in the preservation and antiquities and history of the city of Melrose, the businesses and the cultural and other aspects of Melrose's history as well. You don't have to have experience. You don't have to be in the world of those areas, but we also want to make sure that variety of voices are heard. So we encourage people from diverse backgrounds and experiences to submit a letter of interest. I would say that's true, not just of our commission, but all the commissions. So,
Well, I would apply just to hang out with you more.
Totally.
well, that is awesome.
But I do that on Tuesday nights. That's my
Yeah,
my
here we are.
penance.
Asking for friends of a certain age is like the 80s considered history at this point.
1980s.
The 80s, yeah, exactly.
Not the 1880s, the 1980s. Yeah, no kidding. If you could quote every single Flock of Seagulls song, you're probably historically minded. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Anyway, so that's that. And
That's
reading
great.
through some of the arts and culture. Sorry.
Good job.
Oh,
That's
thank
great.
you. I was going to say, reading through some of the arts and culture stuff that you just read through, Jen, reminds me that we missed you last week because we had some of that information already, but it's not the same coming from you. It's better. It's more dynamic and exciting.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
very
I'm
sweet.
not insulted by that at all.
No, I was the one. I was the one who read it last week. That's why.
And she does the show too.
I did the Phi X. I'm sorry. Follow your art. I always say. Last week, and it was not the same as Jen.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That's all I'm saying.
I'm going to pivot right away, but I did put the Creative Alliance is how I get to know everything that's going on.
Sure.
So I put the link to the events page and sign up for the email, and you'll get all the events that are coming up in your inbox.
Yeah, we send it at the beginning of every month. We just sent one out yesterday, or I think the day before.
Because there are some shows coming. Babe I was looking at that one.
Yes.
That looks really cute. The 2nd, which is Friday. Thursday night.
Thursday.
Yeah, they have puppets. It's puppetry. It looks really great. They have a promo on Facebook that I saw.
I've been seeing a lot of stuff like that recently. Not specifically in Melrose, but in certain theater events that I'm going to a lot of. I've, for some reason, been seeing a lot of works with puppets and shadow and stuff like that.
Cool.
It's been really, really interesting.
Frankenstein one that you saw.
Yeah, Frankenstein. Arts Emerson was just incredible, unbelievable. Also, there's some creative small business events coming up too. If you check out that calendar, Molly's Bookstore is having its grand opening, and the pop-up paper and clay store is doing pop-up small market events pretty much every weekend with different vendors. And I'm sorry, I'm going to take 1 second. I want to give a shout out to my good friend and neighbor, Linda Callanan. She just became a new vendor, an official new vendor at Paper and Clay. She is a quilt maker and a fabric and textile artist. Now she's started making handbags and tote bags and things, also fabric.
Wow.
But this is, she's so talented. This is someone who started down this creative path kind of during COVID, and also as her kids all went off to school as a new empty nester, and kind of got into this new creative experience. And she's just incredibly talented. Her work is gorgeous, and she's prolific, and she's like, just kind of started this new creative business for herself as a new creative entrepreneur. Yeah, she it's so inspiring to me. So she's probably not listening to this, but shout out.
I can watch it later.
Go check her work out at Paper and Clay. Her work is gorgeous.
I have to admit, I have not been over there yet. I do want to make time to get over there at some point, but I'm also looking forward to the weather turning soon. In the next few weeks, spring happens in a few weeks, right? Because I feel like that's also exciting to be able to walk around and spend more time outside and just do those kinds of walks where you can visit stores and spend more time talking to people.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So arts and culture came up quite a bit in the State of the City last night.
It did. I think a round of applause is in order.
Yeah.
So let's back up, because the whole thing felt really positive and inspirational at times. Mm-hmm. It's a reminder that we live in a really great city, and we're doing really well for a lot of the things that we're trying to accomplish and trying to be. So I was impressed because I'm reminded of all the stuff that the city is doing and trying to do. We have, even like the renovation of the library, that's a major renovation happening in our library, because it's that important to the city and that much of a center of community, literature, education, engagement, culture, everything else. So I liked it for all those reasons. That the speech last night was really nice to just walk through last year and walk through challenges, walk through changes, walk through issues, but also walk through how we solve them, how we want to solve them, and how we want to move forward. So that's my take.
Cool. Yeah, I thought similar. I thought it was a nice story arc of starting with celebrating all of the things that we've accomplished in the last year, with a particular emphasis on the year of health and wellness. I feel like that was a really, as a resident, a really noticeable and real and intentional effort. That year of health and wellness was a real thing. There was some incredible programs presented the community with partners in the Health and Human Services and the Parks and Rec department. I think the city did a tremendous job with that effort. And then in the middle of the speech was a real, kind of a hard look at some of the challenges and an honest look at some of the challenges that we have with regard to finances and our some of our infrastructure needs and funding and schools and things like that. I think that was a reasonably honest look at that. And then some visioning towards the future, some investments. To your point, my biased favorite part, if you're looking at the thing, is minute 46 when the mayor talks about.
Not that you're paying attention.
Not that I was all paying attention to this part, but shout out to the commitment to advance an application for an arts and cultural district for the city of Melrose and an investment in the Messina Fund and our artists and cultural workers as part of our investment in our community and economic development and quality of life and things that are important in that regard. So, and then the 2030 visioning process to sort of round it out at the end, and then with the shout out to us and to LTMM at the end was my favorite part.
There was a nice mention of LTMM for the mayor.
Yes,
so thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Not official, maybe, but after the official speech, but nonetheless.
Right.
And I put a link. I put a link to the address that's from YouTube. I put it in the show notes.
Watch it. Yeah.
But it is recorded, so you won't hear the shout out at the end because you have to watch the live version, which I am still looking for. So we could just clip that part out and maybe we'll make that as our new show.
The entrance to the show after the theme song comes up. We have Mr. Mayor giving us props. The one thing we did miss last night was Mr. Tom Catalini with his bullhorn.
Yes,
responding back. That's all we needed to see last night was
to round it out.
Sam,
what do you think, though? Tell us, please.
So, as you both are aware, I'm going to confess to the globe now, the interwebs, that I love these things. It's a hat tip to a past life where I told you it was like harder to get a ticket to the State of the City than it was to get into the Oscars, probably. And so the pomp and circumstance around this is irrationally
exciting.
Felt. Yes.
Yeah, for you.
So I ran up afterwards to get a paper copy of this speech. So I do have it with me. And then at one point, some moments of to note. At some point in the beginning, the mayor declares the State of the Union or the State of the City is, and I grabbed Jenny's hand, waiting for.
She clutched my hand.
What is it going to be?
What word is he going to use?
So he didn't use a word. He used five words: vibrant, committed, connected, invested, and generous.
Wow.
Which
all true.
Can't disagree.
Yeah, all true.
Can't disagree with any of those.
Read them again, so we have that again.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Somebody should put the vibrant, committed, connected, invested, and generous. So yes, usually it's state of strong. It's something. There's never. I have yet to hear the State of the Union is in the trash. But anyway, it's always like a positive thing. Yeah. But yes, then he focused on all the things, as Tom mentioned. These are the things we've done. Here's the work that we accomplished. Jen's points about the year of health and wellness, which there were a ton of things in there. Yeah. And then the challenges came up. And going back and reading the speech, I mean, I was there and I don't retain it word for word, but at the beginning, underlined and in bold is our city finances are sound. So he talks about state aid increasing higher than normal new growth. And so excellent bond rating, which we've heard all these things before. And then here's our opportunity. The first one that came up, I think Jen mentioned, is our public safety building projects.
Yeah.
So our own Eugenia Gibbons is a co-chair on that committee. There's a website which we can link to talk about the
You also
opportunity.
clutched my hand when they said there's a website.
Went through a smidge of redesign recently, but it's Melrose psb.org. So I'll put that up here. But it's great. It has like videos, video tours of the buildings. It kind of goes into what the structures are, what the opportunities are, trying to build and make a case that we need to make some investment in our public safety infrastructure, built infrastructure in this case. And in order to do that, the city might be requesting a debt exclusion, which would go to the public for a vote. So basically we need to like borrow the money is essentially what it is.
I just want to add a point to that because it did come up. Paul, Mayor Broder mentioned that the youngest fire station in the city was built in 1964.
Right.
Everything else is older than that. A couple of them are 1900 or 1885 or something. So it's quite necessary. And I think everyone agrees, including the mayor, that we need to pay attention and rebuild and renovate most of these buildings in some way.
Yeah, it's not a question of should we, it's a question of how do we.
Yeah, right. Sure.
So there's a website there. No, it's great. So what's interesting about this this ask for money, I guess, is that to your point, it's like almost irrefutable universally. I had a conversation tonight with a new friend who leans right fiscally and also believes, yes, we like have got to figure out how to make an investment to rectify the building. So I think I'm optimistic, as you know. I think this could be a thing, if not, I don't want to say the thing, but the next thing for this community to
rally around.
Yes.
And we have tools to have those discussions now too.
The public safety buildings is what you're saying?
Yeah. And
sure.
this kind of investment. Yeah, agree.
And it's also visible change. Like when you are able to renovate buildings and improve buildings like that, I think it's a change that people can see happening and see coming. And then they can be a part of that in some way. Like they can just know it's happening and feel like it's an improvement.
Yeah, true. That's true. And then you, as you mentioned, like nobody ever complains when it's done.
Right.
No one ever.
Right.
And also, we should add too that there was also talk of the Caruso's building last night. A little bit of talk about
that's finally
getting that
forward.
financed and getting that finalized and move that forward. And then that means new tax revenue coming in.
And so most importantly, the word brewery was spoken.
It was. You want me to read it to you?
Yeah.
It's under economic development. We've been analyzing the changes to local regulations like our liquor licensing.
Yes. Yes.
Words.
Wait, if Mr. Catalini was here, this is where the air horn would be going off crazy right now.
We've been approached by restaurants and brewers asking to do business here in Melrose. In the spring, Mayor we'll be asking our liquor commission to update our regulations to improve business opportunities in the hospitality sector, including necessary changes for a brewery to operate. So
look at that. LTMM
arts and culture and beer garden and brewery. Exactly. Under intense political pressure from LTMM.
Everybody drink and make art.
And then one other thing I wanted to point out was Jen mentioned it really quickly, but there is an upcoming
Wait, before you say that, because I'm going to forget to say this later. Next year's State of the City is going to say the State of the City is drunk and crafty.
Drunk and colorful.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, that's fine.
Okay. So as Jen mentioned, well, let me back it up. There was another moment where I think I grabbed your hand or your arm and I was like, that was good. That was a good line.
Yeah.
So here it is. I found it. We dug around for it a bit.
We had to dig around for it. And it's from a writer, right? I mean, this is a quote. This is
yes.
Not to
but it is the perfect sentiment.
Yes, yes, it is. Yes.
Yeah. It says, there is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about.
Yes.
That was a quote from somebody, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
An author.
It was up on the slide. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yep.
Author. I'm going to find
Jen's
it while
gonna
we're
find it.
talking. I am.
So
but read that. It's worth reading again, I think, for people to be inspired because of
there is no power for change greater than a community discovering what it cares about.
Yes. It really, truly feels like a moment for us to vocalize that.
Yes.
And to that point, don't forget that the mayor also talked about convening, I believe, this community conversations committee that will begin to open up opportunities to have these kinds of conversations. What do we care about? Who are we? What's important to us?
Mm-hmm.
How do we include everybody in everything that we want to try to do and who we want to become? So that is, one of the ways that we want to make this happen. It's not just lip service.
Right. And then not only the conversation group.
That quote is Margaret Wheatley, by the way, which I
Margaret.
was going to say, but I was second guessing.
You knew it last night.
I knew it. Yeah.
So not only the community conversation initiative, but there's a new task force, Melrose 2030.
Yes.
Will begin the work of identifying the community's long-term vision for the future of the city and how we can pay for them. So we won't go back to how we pay for things, which is fine.
I nominate LTMM to be on the committee.
Yeah.
All of us.
Arts and crafts and beer gardens.
Arts and crafts and beer gardens and murals and whatever.
Done.
Because we did talk a lot about this is the time for the vision to be delivered. This is the time for these bold policy initiatives to be declared. So we got some of that. I feel like.
Yeah.
And I want, it's also like the vision piece is important because I want to feel like the community is talking about what we want and not what we don't want. It shouldn't be a negative.
Can't do.
Do a negative kind of thing like that. I have an old inspirational phrase or inspirational viewpoint that I've shared with others, and I'll share it with you now. Maybe I've already shared this before, but about JFK's rocket to the moon. When JFK said, "We're going to go by the end of the decade, we're going to go to the moon and bring a person back," and NASA didn't say, "We can't do that. We don't have a rocket." NASA said, "I guess we got to build a rocket." So that's how I view what vision really should be about. What we're trying to accomplish. If we don't have the tools or the resources or the ability yet, then our job becomes get those. Mm-hmm. But we stay true to the idea that we want to accomplish those things that we're trying to accomplish. Anyway, that's why I like those vision conversations, because it brings people together and we share a conversation around how we can become a better city.
And I just underscore something you said. That it was JFK, the executive of our nation, who said, this is what we're doing.
Right.
And then the inspired team holding up that executive and supporting this work said, yes, we will figure out how to do this.
Yes, we'll figure it out together. Right.
Yeah.
I agree.
So, anyway.
One other thing I found out last night, which was one of the best. I think I scored an amazing guest for our future.
Oh, yeah. Who's that?
Former Mayor Rob Dolan is a fan of the show.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
He said he's had enough time has come between.
Enough distance between
that he
then
feels
and
like
now.
he can come and join us. Yeah.
So that's a huge score.
That's going to be fun. That'll be great.
Love that guy. Oh, he'll be great.
And speaking of mayors who love LTMM, we did mention that we got a shout out, but we didn't show the picture, so we were happy to be there last night. Mayor Broder, thank you again, Mayor Broder, for indulging us.
This also reminds me of something else that came up last night.
What?
Okay. It has been a very long time. I have two parts to this. Okay. It's been a very long time since I have been physically in a room with all of those elected officials.
All the
together.
city.
Oh, yeah.
Right. It was kind of cool. I mean, it wasn't again at public comment where I'm sitting there and they're It was like they were there.
Yeah. Mingling and chatting.
It was kind of nice, and it reminded me of like it has been such a long time that I've been near that type of situation.
Yeah.
But the second thing, 2 of them I happen to adore personally, commented on how much they appreciate that I'm letting myself go gray.
Is that why you're wearing a hat right now?
I was gonna say,
have you been wearing a hat since the state of the city?
So that's fascinating because I'm curious. Yeah,
You're blonde. You're lucky. You can
different
do
people.
it seamlessly.
I call them free highlights.
Yeah, exactly.
Free, right.
Some people appreciate.
Yeah,
But that's how long it's been.
But I guess the question is, how is that received by one Sam Hammer? Like, do you say, mind your business, or do you say, thank you for noticing, and I appreciate you commenting on that? Like, it doesn't seem like.
Well, one said, oh, when did you stop dyeing your hair? And I was like, well, it's been a while. I said, this is free. These are free highlights.
Free highlights.
And then I moved on. I don't mind it. The other one said, you look great. Love the hair. And I'm like, nothing has changed with the hair. I'm like, thank you. Free highlights.
So I have a question for you. I have a question, and you can choose not to answer if you so choose. Does it matter if that comment comes from a male or a female, or does it not matter at all if somebody comments around that?
It doesn't matter. It was one of each, actually.
Okay.
It doesn't. No,
no.
I don't. I am
ambivalent,
pervious to like criticism at this point at my gray-haired life.
That's one of your many superpowers.
Yes,
imperviousness.
At least I am outwardly.
But it's a fantastic point. It was kind of great to just mingle and chat with people. Mm-hmm. I haven't seen Rob Dolan in a long time, a couple of years at least. So it is true. It's nice to have that feel of being together.
Yeah,
chatting.
Well, I hope we get to figure out when we're going to do it again. Like how do we recreate that again?
The brewery.
Within the realm of open meeting laws. Yes, at the brewery.
At the brewery.
At the brewery. And I'm going to jump in and play Tom Catalini, because I think at this point, Tom would say, I think we need to give a state of LTMM speech at some point.
He would say that.
Right?
We just lost Sam.
And then he would have the air horn going, and
he would say that. That's why he's not here tonight. He's writing the speech.
All right. I'm glad that I can channel Mr. Catalini and bring him. Bring him here in spirit.
I love it. I'm in. I'm in.
All right.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And we should do it at the studio. Sorry, we should go to MTV. Do it at the studio.
Call it a fundraiser. Hullabaloo of some sort.
Yeah, we need another hullabaloo.
Yeah. All right. Well, we are at time, it looks like.
Yeah, we didn't really argue that much. School committee is meeting tonight.
I know. Yeah, that's why we argued.
That's what we were arguing about.
We arguing about school committee before, not about school. We weren't.
All right, just another half hour. Just a quick half hour more of the show.
Hold on.
Well,
we'll talk about that next time.
We will talk about it next time.
Yes. All right. In the meantime, everybody, we will see you around town.
See you around town.